Are you of the mindset, even though I know that you want Trump to win, are you of the mindset that in Biden's case, he should step out of the race or he should finish the deal?
Do you trust in his way to communicate any message with anybody? Do you trust him?
Hey, welcome back. It's your man Wise, and today, I got a great video to share with you guys, man. Stephen A. Smith, as you guys know, he is woke. We obviously know this. He's actually as woke as they come. But I also think that he is a closeted conservative. He, out of his own mouth, has said that he is conservative fiscally, but he leans a little more progressive, when it comes to some of the social issues out there. And I don't even know if I believe that, to be honest with you. But his handlers at ESPN and all these super woke folks that are a part of the Hollywood industry or the mainstream media industry, for that matter, they won't allow you to be a free thinker. So he walks a fine line, a tightrope of wokeness, when in all actuality, I don't think he actually believes it. But in this clip right here, PBD, Pat Bet David, I don't know if you guys have checked out his channel, and make sure you go over to Stephen A. Smith's channel as well and support that brother as well. I like to see black men doing positive things, even if I don't agree with the takes, or I don't agree, with the sentiment all the time. I do appreciate that Stephen A. has decided to jump over into this space and showing other people that there is a lane out here for you as well. So I do appreciate that. And obviously with Pat Bet David, we know what he has accomplished over there at Valuetainment. I mean, this dude has built a multi-million-dollar media platform that's continuing to grow on a day-to-day basis, interviews everybody, and I mean, he just puts out solid content on a day-to-day basis. So shout out to both of these brothers, man, for just showing us how to actually do the daggone thing. I really appreciate that. And I think he's starting to sway Stephen A. Smith in this interview. You guys got to check this out, man. Let's go.
We're sitting here in the aftermath of a presidential debate. You are unapologetic about who you're going to vote for, and you have been telling everybody and their grandparents that you see what's going on the left, et cetera, et cetera. What has life been like for you over the last couple of weeks or so since that debate has taken place?
Since that debate has taken place, well, I mean, this is probably the most. If we were to talk about a person who is the face of a league, okay, in sports, you're a sports guy. If you were to say, what is the worst performance the MVP or the face of the league has had in a finals game, in a fight where you're so disappointed, who would you say, right? And no matter who you ask, left, right, or center, everybody will tell you this is the worst performance we've ever seen in the history of any presidential debate. Doesn't matter who you put up there.
Reagan versus Jimmy Carter?
No. This is
Barack Obama versus Mitt Romney, the first go round?
Well, Romney got it the second go round, and then Romney on the third go round. I was on a flight one time with Bill O'Reilly from Burbank to Vegas, and this was an event he was doing back then, I think, with Dennis Miller. Just like, I don't know, whatever the time is when Romney and Obama are going back and forth. And I said, hey, what the hell happened? Romney had the lead in second debate. Third debate, he got all soft. He says, because Romney got feedback from his marketing team that single women voters don't like the way they were hard on Obama on Benghazi. He took that counsel and he lost. He could have beaten Obama, but he didn't go strong on the third one. No, there's never been anything worse than what we saw here. We've never seen anybody choke, not being able to deliver a single message, allowing Trump to have that one hit to say, honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what he just said, and I don't think he even knows what he said. So now the real thing is going to be how quickly the DNC is going to be able to replace. If so, if not, there's many moving parts, but we're living in uncharted territories right now. We're going to see what's going to happen.
He's absolutely right. We are definitely in uncharted territory, but I do not think that the Democrats are going to pull Biden out this race. He's come out of his own mouth and said he's in it to win it. Hats off to him, but good for us. because all he's doing is paving a way for a landslide victory for President Trump. At least that's my thoughts. But to piggyback on what Pat Bet David said, hands down, it's the worst debate performance we've ever seen. There's probably been kids debating and competing for an opportunity to be, school council president that did better than what Joe Biden showed, in that last debate there. I mean, let's just keep it real. It was a terrible performance, and he didn't do anything but lob meatballs to President Trump, and Trump knocked those things over the park, or out of the park, more or less. Knocked them out, man. I mean, he just lobbed up meatball after meatball. I mean, I don't think it could have gotten much worse, other than, maybe he pulls a Mitch McConnell and just freezes up, to be honest with you.
Are you of the mindset, even though I know that you want Trump to win, are you of the mindset that in Biden's case, he should step out of the race or he should finish the deal?
Do you trust in his way to communicate any message with anybody? Do you trust him? Because this is how it works in the world of business, okay? Let's just say, Stephen A., you're running a $3.5 trillion a year company. Let's call this company USA, okay? Let's say I, on behalf of you, I'm going to go negotiate with another guy named G, or another guy named Vlad. Let's just call him Vlad. Or let's call another guy named Zelensky, okay?
Okay.
Or another guy named Raisi, or whoever, Khamenei, that's running Iran, the late Raisi. Would you trust Biden on behalf of you to go negotiate with any one of those guys? I don't think you'd say yes to that,
I
right?
wouldn't.
Exactly. So we
not.
are the owners of this country.
Mm-hmm.
We're the voters, right? We are voting for somebody on behalf of us to go negotiate in a favorable term for us. It's very simple. You have to negotiate favorable terms on the $200 billion we gave to Zelensky. You have to negotiate in favorable terms to put the fear in, Putin to not do what he's doing to, Ukraine. You have to put the fear in G. So to me, it starts that simple. It's not even about me and Trump are not friends. I've never broke bread with him to have like a conversation. You probably had more interactions with him one-on-one than I've had with him. I've met him at a UFC fight. Dana made the introduction. I've been to Mar-a-Lago a couple times. I've met his son. I've met him. I've met Don a couple times.
I've never seen him since 2014.
That's the financial advice he gave you.
That's the last time we saw each other. When we were at a game, at the Knicks game, and he introduced me to Bill O'Reilly at that particular moment in time. And I was the person he called in 2015, when he was trying to purchase the Buffalo Bills. And he said to me on the phone, he said, Stephen A., I want to get the Bills. He said, but I got a feeling these folks are going to get in my way. And his exact words to me, and I've said this publicly, so I'll echo it to you. He said, if them fuckers get in my way, I'm going to get them back. I'm going to run for president. That's exactly what he said.
He said this to you.
He said this to
what
me
year?
in 2014.
Wow.
He said it to me in 2014. He's trying to get the Bills. The price for it was $1.4 billion.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to get it, and there you have it.
I don't want to call Cat, but I want to call Cat. Really? Donald Trump called Stephen A. and told him that. That's just hard to believe. But hey, we know that Stephen A. is somewhat known for stretching the truth just a little bit. But hey, what do I know?
Yeah. So think about, by the way, I spoke to him and I said, I'd love to see you on Stephen A. It's one of the first things I told him. I said, I'd love to see you on Stephen A. I think that would be a entertaining interview if you interview Trump.
I wouldn't run from it. I'd gladly interview him.
I know you would. And I think it'd be very
huge.
entertaining for everybody to watch. And if they're watching it right now, they ought to consider it, especially if they did Logan Paul. It'd be a very different kind of an audience to speak to, because a big part of the audience listens to you. So for me, I just did 3 interviews today. Today's, whatever the day is, day after 4th of July, we're sitting here. You're working a day after 4th of July. Most of America right now is like, no, it's my 4-day weekend, all this stuff, right? We're grinding, we're working. I asked one of the guys, I said, hey, you're interviewing today. He says, yes. So you sure you want to work for a company that's working on 5th of July, day after 4th of July? He says, I asked the question myself, right? Do you think President Biden is working on the 5th of July? Do you think he's working 6 days a week the way Trump would do? Do you think he would pick up the calls? Do you think he would pick up the calls more than a Newsom? Do you think he would pick up the calls more than any of the other candidates? So the fact that they have him over a Trump as a candidate. I trust Trump in the locker room to sit down and talk to these guys with G. Did you hear the story that when Byron Donalds was on State Steel, the other fellow that was with him that said, hey, what's the best Trump story that you have? He said he goes one time and sits and talks to the Taliban, and he says, hey, I want you to know something. We're about to exit Afghanistan when I get reelected. When we do, I swear to God, if you do anything to any of my soldiers, even a hair, if anything happens to them, I'm going to kill you. I'm telling you this respectfully. I don't want to have problems with you. Trump gets up, takes out a sheet of paper out of his pocket, hands it to the man with a picture of his house and his family, and walks out.
Wow.
See, I want
Byron Donald told that story.
Byron
Representative
Donald's
Byron,
associate next to him on Sage Steele's, I'll
Right.
give you the link
Sure.
afterwards, told the story. And guess what? Do you believe that kind of a story? I do.
So do I.
do believe he would say something like that. I think we need strength today. We don't have it.
we're sitting here.
He's absolutely right. And that wasn't Byron Donalds. I do recall that. I actually did a video on that. So if you haven't watched that video, please, I'm going to make sure that I throw it up here where you guys can go check that video out. But that was actually Congressman Wesley Hunt who told that story, of President Donald Trump having a conversation with someone in the Taliban. Wesley Hunt tells that story a whole heck of a lot better. Also, in that particular Sage Steele interview, with both Congressman Byron Donalds and Congressman Wesley Hunt, Congressman Byron Donalds also discloses that under the Biden administration, we've had 11 embassy evacuations, and we've lost 7 U.S. embassies during the Biden administration. A feat that's never been done before. No president has lost 7 U.S. embassies. Matter of fact, you'd be hard pressed to find us losing any U.S. embassy over the years. But yet, in this administration, because it's so weak, our enemies see us as weak. They are pushing and they are trying us. And it's crazy. And Pat Bet David is absolutely correct there. Who would you rather have as your representative? People don't realize that the president, yes, he's the commander in chief, but he's the face of the nation. He's the CEO of the nation. We're all shareholders in this country. We're all getting an opportunity to vote for the person that's going to negotiate on our behalf, that's going to make sure that the company gets pushed and moved in the right direction. How has that worked out for us thus far? We literally have a guy in office that shuts down at 8 o'clock every evening. That's not for me. That's what we were told. But we know that ish hits the fan a lot. How many movies have you seen, out there where the president is in a war room at 12, 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning? Do y'all not recall the situation when, Barack Obama gave the order to go and get Osama bin Laden? That happened in the middle of the night. There's been so many different situations like that, but yet we have a president that's shutting things down at 8 o'clock. So who handles those calls? Who makes those decisions from 8 to 8, from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m.? Who's responsible? Are you telling me that we have unelected bureaucrats running the country? It wouldn't surprise me, because that's exactly what they want, and that's how they would like things to be. I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment down below. Appreciate all the love and support. Do you think that Stephen A is really going to vote for President Biden? Based off of the things, I'm one of those kind of people I like to read between the lines. I just can't see him doing it. I just can't see him doing it. And the more he hangs out with people like this, and there's some other folks that you've seen him, interview with and that he's conversed with, and it's just hard to believe that he's going to go in that ballot booth November 5th and check the box off for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. That's just hard for me to believe. But let me know what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe. Consider joining the ARP family. It supports me, supports the team. It gives us the ability to produce this type of content for you guys on a day-to-day basis. Keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up. And I'm going to catch up with you all next time. Peace.